Hello again, 5th graders. For this next lesson, I'm going to be asking you to review some geography of the 13 colonies. You should know this from 3rd grade, and you should know your states from last year from 4th grade, so this should be a quick review and no problemo. So here's the standard 5.10. We're going to be working on this for the next couple of weeks as it goes with our next project as well. But let's take a look at it in more detail. It says, on a map of North America, identify the first 13 colonies, and you should be able to describe how their regional differences, and there are 3 regions. See if you can think about what the 3 different regions are of the 13 colonies. Did you guess New England, Middle, and Southern? You were correct. Well done. So these 3 regions have differences in climate. They have differences in the types of farming that could be done there, the people who live there, and the sources of the labor. And that all those things combined to shape the economies and the societies of these places through the 18th century. Do you remember when the 18th century was? Think for a minute. Did you say 1700s? Well done if you did. Excellent. So you need to be able to categorize the 13 colonies into these 3 different categories. There are 4 New England colonies, 4 middle colonies, and 5 southern colonies. Here's a map of the eastern part of the United States with modern boundaries today, and here are those states with their size and shape as they are today as well. We're going to use them for the purposes of knowing the colonies, though. So, you should know that these 13 colonies include Massachusetts, which appears to be hooked up to Maine. Do you know why? Keep that in mind. New Hampshire, teeny tiny Rhode Island, home to Roger Williams on real religious freedom, Connecticut, and those 4 together make up our purple New England colonies. Keep that in mind. The orange ones, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and teeny tiny Delaware make your middle colonies. And then we have these pink ones. We have Maryland, we have Virginia. See this funny little spot that's left right here? That's actually present-day Washington, D.C. This spot that you see here is just part of West Virginia, or present-day West Virginia. North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. These 5 make up your southern colonies. So there are your 13. You should know all 13. You should know how to place them on the map. What's this, by the way? You know it as Florida today. Back then, we would have called it La Florida. And of course, it would have been owned by Spain. That's just one of the extras I'd like you to think about adding to your map for extra credit. Up here, to the north, of course, we have Canada, New France, so don't forget those French Canadians are there, waiting. The 2-letter codes that I have on this map too, I wanted to mention, are the modern postal codes today, but it's appropriate in my book to use them for this as well. So think about knowing these 2-letter codes. It will come in handy later. I mentioned before that these boundaries that you see are the boundaries of the states as they are today. I wanted to draw in a line to show you some mountains, but I'm not sure that this is going to let me. But keep in mind, the boundary would run for the Appalachian Mountains from, here and along this way here, making most of the colonies smaller than the states they are today. Notice there's a little gray spot up here too. Hopefully you know that today is actually Vermont. But the land that was Vermont then was fought over actually between New Hampshire and New York, with New York actually being the winner and controlling that land until Vermont became a state independently. So, use your knowledge from this. Please grab an atlas grab some colored pencils, and please fill in the map that you have on the front of this sheet. Make sure you fill in the map and the appropriate key, and please, please, please take your time and do a quality job. No need to rush. Until next time, 5th graders, Miss Eller signing off.